I'm here at Richland College, got situated talking to the front desk, and I got some brilliant news. I just now completed my quiz, 33 questions, and I have officially passed. I got a 91%, so that's a good deal. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm very happy. I'm relieved for that. I've been going through a lot of stress right now, right before I took this test, because I had some other stuff that was going on. But I'm actually very surprised I scored higher than I thought I was. I scored higher than I really thought. So I didn't go over my notes at all, because I kind of wanted to kind of get a feeling to how much I can retain this information without going over my notes. So I just kept on go with the class, followed. I spent all the time at the library last couple of days. So yeah, so next week is another test. I think it's on a Tuesday. I think they said it was on the 22nd or 23rd. So yes, I passed my quiz, 33 questions. All right, good deal. Good deal. Let's see what it says. Done. And so yeah, I'm very happy, very glad. Relief. So more hope, more studying, more blessings that the Lord can help allow me to go to school and get this LVN. And now that I passed, my first quiz, I wanted to make this video. I'm always going to need some help. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to go ahead, if I pass the whole class and take the exams, I'm certified with the state, that whether I'm going to go to work right away, get a CNA job, work a couple weeks, a month, and then take another class. Or I'm going to do a CNA assignment at a temp agency that they'll have in a different state or in a different city, maybe Houston, Austin, and see what options they have there, do an assignment, return, then go back to school. So I haven't decided yet, but I was thinking that I'm exactly somewhere around close to about 18 months, roughly estimated, from the age of my sister that passed away many years ago, who had Down syndrome. And it clicked with me, and I said, and I was like, an LVN takes anywhere from 12 to 18 months. And I remember saying that. I never knew her age. I still don't know exactly her age, but I remember trying to, sort of figure her out, sort of thinking, how old is she? And the whole story, there's so much that goes into this, but she's 18 months. So I thought, LVN, I can become a nurse in 18 months. And that's like the extended amount of time. 18 months. I'll be a licensed nurse. There's a licensed nurse, there's a ADN, which is an associate's degree in nursing. Then you have BS, which is a bachelor's. People get masters, but in order to get to be a registered nurse, it goes from LVN to a bachelor's and associate's nursing, which is still a license to my understanding. And then you have the RN, which is like the top, which is like officially you're a registered nurse, because there's a lot of things that a registered nurse does that LVNs don't do. And so I thought, God willing, if I could get haven't fully decided yet. Obviously there's radiology, there's all these different types of stuff, but if an LVN sounds just, it's so wild that the only thing that really disappoints me is that I wish I would have been able to go to school. The only thing that ever stopped me was my GED. That was the only thing. That was the only substantive situation that was going on. That and being thrown to the streets with no choice. But, nearly digging trash cans for food. Nobody would hire me. I couldn't find a place to live. It was just burn my life away. And they already were going to tell me what my choices in life and career were going to be. And regardless, just burn me, throw me away. But obviously, circumstances, that I didn't even think that it almost seems closer for me to be able to think that I could be a nurse. It may not be an RN, a licensed nurse, but it's a nurse. Closer than I thought. And I don't know what goes into entailing that into more to people that could be chemo certified and licensed vocational nurse. They're also called licensed practical nurse. So it just varies from here to there. But I remember thinking of that because I remember hearing, and one of the things I want to say very important, many years ago, whenever I talked to certain people before I was 23 years old, and I talked to a couple of the nurses, and some of them said that, the reason that I was asking these nurses, because even before I ever did anything or brought any turntables to, just keep me busy in the hospital, I was already telling these people that I wanted a career that was not going to be in the entertainment business, that was not going to be, involved in music. And it's not that I hate, I still enjoy music, but I wanted to do something else. I wanted something for me. And, but I want to say that because I'm always have to be careful of everything that I say, because when I say things at times, it's always being countered at me psychologically. Like, nobody's listening to me in any way of any support. It's so harsh because you have so many predators that are so mentally, destroying to me, like wanting to just dismantle, and they use their wisdom, they use any calculating thing to the highest level degree. My mother's twin is like throwing me in a garbage can the way that she speaks to me. Like, I have no hope. You're going to be a DJ. This Dr. Dre and 50 Cent, Barack Obama told you this. You're never going to have hope in your life again. I don't care. I want my money. I want, you to do this to help my other kids. And it's just like I'm worthless. This story of my father and all these things is just trash, but for me, I was thinking, gosh, I hope that would be like the biggest miracle of all. Like, I could be a licensed nurse. Obviously, people can go from a licensed nurse to to licensed nurse to then associates, then BSN. But it would give me an opportunity to. I haven't made a full decision. There's radiology, there's x-ray technicians, there's all kinds of stuff, and I would have to complete the prerequisites. So in order for me to be able to skip like the basics, to my understanding, to even get into like a LVN, I have to pass the TSI, I think that's what because that's why I took it, but I barely failed it. So I have to pass that in order to be able to not take the prerequisites, because the prerequisition courses, they take an entire semester. So if I failed in whatever, reading or math or something in a TSI, then it would take me I'd have to spend an entire semester just taking a class until I could pass that. And then I can keep taking the test over and over and over until I score high enough. So that would probably be maybe the biggest issue to prevent me, like the whole GED situation. But that's the only thing, is that it'll cost me going to semesters just to get the, basics done, and then I can enroll in that class. But it sounds very interesting. There's a lot of I haven't made a decision like that, but I was like, wow, I hope, and I prayed Jesus, God, like if I could get a licensed vocational nurse. I never thought in my mind I was smart enough as a human being and it feels for the first time in my life a little bit more closer that, that I could do it, because you're talking to somebody who was nearly digging his hands inside trash cans and eat out of a trash can because there were so many people just spitting and kicking at me and just foul-mouthing me like I was worthless, and so many years, like, that I could never become nothing more than what they told me in education and especially a nurse, right? Nurse. But I'm not trying to make it more of it. This is a licensed vocational nurse. This is not a registered nurse. Phew. Registered nurses, phew. Wow. And you're talking a grueling amount of education that's easy to talk off the tongue, but very, very challenging. So I'm not trying to get ahead of myself at all. But I'm glad I passed this test. This is really giving me hope. I hope God helps me, But all I can do is try. There's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about right now, but I want to keep the video not too lengthy. But yeah, we're going through this book, this class, this material, and gosh, there's a lot of other stuff I want to say. My sort of excitement and interest to want to learn more, and when it comes to this, this medical field kind of stuff, and a career that I knew everyone could doubt me and believe that I couldn't, and say that I wouldn't. There's a sense of it that it feels like that goal, that dream, that ability is it closer than I maybe think that it's possible, and it feels good. It feels kind of godlike if it does. But there's going to be a whole lot of stuff I got to learn, so I'm not trying to get carried away. So I'm going to get something to eat. Have a wonderful day.